We are doing Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, verse 14 onwards. Since I have no craving for the fruit of actions, actions do not taint me. Even he who thus knows me in reality is not bound by actions. Shri Krishna is very clearly explaining everything to you over here. He says, nobody can buy me. So if you think that you can tell Krishna to do something, you are mistaken. Krishna is not involved in any action that way. So he says, first and foremost, every god is seeking something. Krishna is not. Krishna is not saying that you do this in the material world and I am going to give this to you. So there is no seeking. So you can't go to Krishna with a pot full of gold and say, Krishna, here is the gold, please give me this. Or you give him one chocolate, okay? And you say, Krishna, please, I want this thing. What, you are trying to buy him? Shri Krishna says, first and foremost, you can't buy me. I have no craving for the fruit of action. So any action that he himself performs, Shri Krishna performs a lot of actions, which was mentioned in the previous, this chapter when we are doing. He is not involved in anything coming out of it. So suppose he eats, he is not bothered about digestion. If he does some gathering of money also, he will go and gather money also. He will go and gather an army also. He can do whatever he wants to. But that action is not bound on him. Because there is no fruit connected to it. He is not doing it because he wants something out of it. Did you get this? So if you also offer something to Shri Krishna, he is not bothered about what you offer to him. Why? Because you can't buy him from that angle. You can't give him 1 kilo of sweets and say, Shri Krishna, please help me, I want to pass in my examination. He says, the wrong department, sir, get out from here. Okay? Because he's not interested in your 1 kg of sweets. You are trying to buy him. So never ever go to Shri Krishna with any kind of desires or needs. I'm telling you this. He says, even he who thus knows me in reality is not bound by actions. So you giving something to him, there is no fruit going to come out of it. No fruit. Because he is not bothered about it. He also gives something. There is no transaction. He is giving you something. On his own he may give you. Okay, take this, $10 million. Now you may say, I will give you commission, okay? 1 million is your commission, 10%. He is less bothered about it. There is no 10% commission also. There is nothing like, okay, I will grant you this wish. Not even interested in that. You may wonder, then how come Krishna's life, he has accepted things? Wouldn't that be a question? Shri Krishna accepts things. First, the acceptance is, there was a lady, she was in distress. This lady, her brother was torturing her. Her brother insisted, you have to marry this person, you have to marry this person, you have to marry this person. So she wrote, now this is a young lady, she was 21 years old. Krishna was already beyond 50 or 60 or something like that. She writes a mail to him. Okay, a lengthy letter. Remember, she's a princess. She writes a letter to him saying, please come and save me from this monster. I don't want him. So who is this person? So I'm talking about Rukmini. Okay? And her brother is there. Her brother's name is Rukma. Alright? And he wants her, that is Rukma wants Rukmini to marry Shishupal. You know the big enemy of Shri Krishna, no? So, there was one old man, he comes with this letter to Krishna and says, Rukmini has sent this letter. So when he reads the letter, he says, okay, fine, I will go and I will do what is necessary. And he goes to that place with his chariot he and his brother, goes to that place, and from the palace itself he kidnaps that girl. Okay, Rukmini. Now remember, she's literally 1/3 his age or half his age, I don't know what age. So he kidnaps her. And everybody comes running after him. He says to his brother, now you have your job, you fight them. I am not going to fight, I'm going to run away with this girl. And he runs away with this girl. So now Rukmini tells him, now you have run away with me, now your job is to marry me, now marry me. So Shri Krishna says, done, I will marry you. So he marries her. Second wife also is exactly like that. You know, father, Satyabhama's father, Satyavrat. Now Satyavrat accuses Krishna of robbing some gem, Shamantaka gem. Shri Krishna says, come on man, why will I rob your stupid gem? My gem is worth billions, okay? I wear a gem which is worth billions. Why will I take your gem which is worth millions only? So Satyavrat says, no, you robbed my gem. So to prove that thing wrong, Shri Krishna has to go to the jungle and get the proof that Satyavrat's brother was killed by a bear. Okay? So he defeats the bear, gets the jewel back. So the bear turns out to be somebody from the second yuga, Sri Ram's yuga. So when he looks at Shri Krishna, he says, oh, you are Sri Ram, you are promised to marry my daughter. So this bear's daughter is there. So he gets married to this girl also. And when he brings back the jewel, Satyavrat says, now you marry my daughter as well. And Shri Krishna keeps on marrying like this, okay? So he gets 8 wives like that, and then 100 of them, and then I don't know how many, 99,000 or something like that. God knows how many. And all these women, they say, no, you have to marry me. And he keeps on. So there is no actual expectation in his life. So he's not expecting anything from anybody. But if somebody gives him something, so Satyavrat finally gives him the jewel also. He says, take it. Okay, fine, I'll take it. So you give something to Krishna, he's going to take it, but don't expect anything in return. Okay, so he's very clear about it. So since I have no craving for the fruit of actions, actions do not taint me. So even if he does some action, even if he goes and rescues a girl, okay, that is his own wife, there is no expectation that she should marry him. He says, I do these actions because they have to be done. So there is no expectation. When you do actions without expectations, then there are no fruits associated with it. So do it selflessly. That is what he means. So you want to give me peda? Give me. You want to give me $1 million? Give it to me. Doesn't matter. I am not even bothered about your $1 million. They are as good as, nothing. So don't bother. So this is what he says. Alright? So, now why was this verse here? This verse clearly says that when you go to the different gods, remember the previous verse? Verse number 12 where Shri Krishna says, you go to visit all these gods with some fruit of action. You want something. He says, with me, don't expect anything. If I want, I give. If I don't want, I don't want to give. It doesn't matter. For me, there is no tainting anywhere. So I am not expecting anything. And you also please don't come and expect anything from me. Got it? But Sri Krishna gives. He gives as a father. It is selfless. So don't bother your head about it. So don't go with any bribe to him. Okay? So that is what he said. But even if you go with something, it doesn't bother him so much. So this verse is there for that reason. So he is trying to tell you very clearly, don't come to me with some expectation and don't expect something from me in return. But with all other gods, you are free to do that. We move to the next verse. So we are doing chapter 4, verse 15. from the Bhagavad Gita. Having known thus, action was performed even by the ancient seekers for liberation. Therefore, do you also perform action as has been performed by the ancients from antiquity. So, Shri Krishna is now explaining to Arjuna. He says, see, in ancient times, remember, this is the third yuga that is going on, which is called the Dwapar Yuga. He says in antiquity, which means years ago, eons ago, ages ago. So ages ago could be the first yuga, could be Satyuga, could be Krita Yuga. Krita and Satyuga is the same. So he says during that time, sages were there. These were great people. They were wise people. They were sages. And they also performed actions. It's not that they didn't perform any action. You may think that they didn't perform any actions and things happened by magic. Like, and something appears. Nothing like that. No touching, no like E.T. Something is going to come. Nothing like that. You see, in one of the very famous paintings, you will find a god and a man, they are touching their fingers, okay? Like that also nothing happened, okay? Nothing got transmitted from one person to the other. No magic. These people who are enlightened beings, these enlightened beings also had to perform actions. Let us make this very clear. People, please don't just sit on your backside doing nothing. Your job is to work. Magic doesn't happen. Shri Krishna is very clearly telling you, please don't expect some magic formulas. Okay, this happened, that happened. You know how people are in this world? They are seeking magic formulas. There are people who come to me. They come to me and they expect some magic happening. They tell me, you give me a magic mantra. You really think I am going to give? You must have lost all your screws. I am not going to give any magic mantra. So don't expect some magic things happening. Tantra, mantra, jantra, nothing is there. Please don't bother. First and foremost, you are asking a wrong question. So don't ask. Even the ancients would perform their actions. So he says, they were already liberated. So they performed actions because they wanted to go towards liberation. So some of these people, they were Nitya Siddhas, they were already liberated. Some of them were Jivan Mukta. So in that life, they had to go towards liberation. So they had to perform actions and they performed actions. So any person in this world who says, I will not perform action is mistaken. Because when we move to the next verse, it's a very, very crucial verse for us to know. Alright, so even the past people performed actions. So we are doing the next verse, which is verse 16 from chapter 4 of the Bhagavad Gita. What is action and what is inaction? Even men of intelligence are puzzled over this question. Therefore, I shall expound to you the truth about action, knowing which you will be freed from the evil effects, that is the shackles of karma. Now this is a very important thing for all of us. There is action and there is inaction. These two are separate things. Please remember this. These two are separate things. Why are these separate? Because every action that you perform is going to lead you towards a karma. You may think nothing is leading towards karma. No. Every action performed by you, knowingly, unknowingly, leads you to karma. This is a very important matter for all of us to know. You may think that there is an ugly person in front of you. A very dirty, horrible looking roadside person from you. And you immediately have aversion for him. I don't like him. And you don't show it on your face. You just maybe frozen in time, but like that. But you may have had a thought coming in your mind. It's an action performed by you. The thought itself is an action performed by you. You may say, I didn't do anything. This is the danger. Anything in your life that happens, even a thought which comes out in this world, such an ugly person is a thought, action is performed. So that is the reason why you have to control your mind. Do you understand the importance of controlling your mind? Your boss is coming towards your table. Oh, the villain is coming. The thought immediately crosses your mind. You think nothing happened. No, happened. It happened. So all this that is there is also a part of it. You may go and do an action. You may pull somebody's chair and that fellow falls on the ground. And it's a joke from your side. It was just a joke, No. It's an action you have done. Some people in my world, they will call me names. I was just joking with you, Guruji. Really? It's an action which you have performed. Every thought, every word, every deed is an action. So this verse has very, very important meaning. So Shri Krishna is saying there is action and there is inaction. The men of intelligence, even the wise people in this universe, the wisest of the wise, they also are flummoxed by this English word. Okay? You will ask me, what is this? Every day one new word you're saying. So it means, they are very disturbed by this. So these people, they don't have any idea about it. It's like, what did I do? Really? What did you do? So even the wise person may have no clue about what he has done or not done. And that is why he says, Shri Krishna says, I am going to expound the truth about this. So Shri Krishna is going to explain the real meaning of these two words. What is action and what is inactions? Because they bind us in a karma. Simple example. Suppose you have a mother-in-law. Now, mother-in-law, daughter-in-laws never get along with each other. Somebody getting along, maybe they are not mother-in-law, daughter-in-law. But if that is the case, the daughter-in-law is always saying, oh, this person, she comes and she makes my life hell. Really? Now, she may not show it to her. She may not perform an action. But the thought is there. You already are afraid of somebody. You already have developed a kind of an aversion. See, these are actions. Fear, anger, aversion, likes, dislikes, whatever are there, these are called actions. I like this person. Action. I don't like him. Also an action. So these things have to be explained. So Sri Krishna is now going to give an explanation of this beautiful line, because it ends up in a karma. Karma is not only for one lifetime. this same mother-in-law is going to be sitting on top of your head for the next of your lifetimes. The person whom you don't like, you may say, I don't like this person. That person is going to be fixed in your life, fixated, like a glue, stick fast. It's never going to come off. Next life, next life, next life, next life, next life. They are going to be like that. Yeah, okay. So please remember, this action lead to karma. And this karma will give you so many births for God knows what reason. You are still connected with that person. So you better be careful how you talk, how you work, how you do things. So let us move to the next verse. So we are doing chapter 4, Bhagavad Gita, verse 17. The truth about action must be known, and the truth about inaction also must be known. Even so, the truth about prohibited action, which is vikarma, must be known, for mysterious are the ways of action. So there are three kinds of actions. First one is an action, second one is an inaction, and third one is called a prohibited action. You are not supposed to do those things. So three things are there. Shri Krishna says, I have to give you an explanation of these three things. Okay? Why is it so important for us to have these three kinds of actions? Remember the main line in this. It is going to lead you to multiple lifetimes. That is why we are here. I am here for that reason. Please remember this. The reason why I have to many a times curtail and many a times tell you certain things. Do this and don't do this, because you should not be falling into the trap of karma. People don't understand what I speak. As a guru, my job is to ensure that these three things do not come in your way. And that is the reason why I have to keep on insisting that you do this way, don't do this, or this is a prohibited action. Don't even dare go in that direction. Many a times I have to tell people, why do you get upset? Why do you get angry with this person? Don't get angry. Don't get upset. Don't say any words. But the person doesn't listen. They perform the actions. The moment they perform the actions, the counter drops. Cling, cling, cling. You know that counter, how it drops? So one more karma added, one more karma added, one more karma added. Just one karma can lead you an entire life. You may be hanging by the thread for 70, 80 years of your next life also. Why? So when I say something, please listen to the words very, very carefully. Very carefully. Some people I will say, go there. For some people I will say, don't go there. For some people I will say, come to me. For some people I will say, don't come to me just now. These are some things which you need to follow them religiously. You don't follow them, you can fall into the biggest trap of all times, which is called karma. And karma leads you to multiple births. And that is why it is important to follow the track. Krishna says, you got to know the meaning of the word action, inaction, and prohibited action. Now we have come to the end of today's session. So maybe it's we will reveal it tomorrow, the secret. So let us stop over here, and then I will talk to you about this tomorrow. See you.